Welcome to Phoenix 2020, a clear vision for the future of Phoenix. I'm Councilman Michael Nowakowski. On this episode, we'll be looking ahead at my priorities for 2015. I'm inviting my talented staff onto the set to discuss what to expect in the coming year. It's a great chance to hear our goals for 2015, introduce the awesome District 17. But first, the new year also is a great time to look back at 2014. We really came together last year in developing our economic, celebrating our rich culture, and transforming downtown into a family destination for the entire valley. We featured it all on Phoenix 2020 and had a lot of fun doing it. In this next segment, we put together a special collection of videos highlighting from our 2014 show. So let's take a look.
2014 was a very busy year in District 7. The city made great strides in economic development, celebrating our cultural heritage, and the continued resurgence of our downtown into a dining, shopping, education, and event destination for the entire valley. The beginning of the year was a great time to reflect on service and giving back to the community. Councilman Nowakowski joined the Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service at Los Osos Urban Garden, where 400 volunteers taught us what teamwork and giving back are all about.
Thanks to the support from the City of Phoenix, District 7, and the Cesar Chavez Foundation. Thanks to the Cesar Chavez Foundation, we got the monies to buy materials to make the flower beds for the garden. And this is part of a community event with Davidson School and the City of Phoenix and the entire community, as you can see. This is about working with the community, the children, and the families.
Well, my name is Reyes. I go to Cesar Chavez High School, and we're now basically on a program called Upward Bound, and they basically helped us get on track for college, and they gave us so much that we decided to give back to the community as well. I mean, it's a pleasure to see a face on an elderly person and help them out. I mean, that's all it's all about.
Margaret T. Hance Park is one of the city's most important parks. It's our own Central Park, an inviting, open, green space just north of downtown. A design team worked with neighbors and community members for months to create a grand master plan to make Hance Park a true destination in Phoenix.
We need a place to celebrate our culture, a place to have civic engagement. We need a place that we can have health and wellness programs, and just the list goes on and on and on.
It really has been a tremendous amount of community input through this process. We've probably had over 1,000 people involved in our various community and stakeholder meetings. We've had thousands of comments that have been provided, and really what we did was try to look for common themes. What are the things that we're hearing over and over again? And really a lot of common themes did emerge through that process, and those ended up becoming the drivers for our design.
The overwhelming community support for the master plan demonstrates the importance of parks in keeping neighborhoods healthy and safe. Councilman Nowakowski also celebrated the contribution of a historical icon when he visited the premiere of a movie celebrating the legacy of Cesar Chavez.
This film is about this movement, it's about the struggle of farm workers, it's about what they achieved as a community, but at the end it's a story about a father and a son, and that makes it universal.
They went in and they picked a pivotal time in my father's life, which was the first grape strike in Delano. It was that point that the fight to establish union was its clearest, and the odds seemed the most insurmountable.
You can't oppress someone who's not afraid anymore.
Councilman Nowakowski also honored the bravery and sacrifice of our fallen public safety and military personnel at a grand Memorial Day celebration he hosted at Cesar Chavez Park.
You know, Commander, when you're pulling in, you see those 7 feet banners along the road, and we're calling it Hero Lane, and all the police officers. How many police officers have we lost so far?
We have lost 37 police officers in the line of duty over the history of the police department, and you're right. As I was driving in, the banners of all the fallen heroes, it's a wonderful tribute to the officers that we've lost in the line of duty.
So you came out here to see the fireworks, and what else?
And to have fun.
And to have fun?
And to thank you and policemen and the firefighters.
Oh, thank you. Give me 5. And you know, that's what it's all about. It's about educating kids and their families about respecting those men and women in uniform. You know, the firefighters and police officers that put on that uniform every day. They risk their lives to protect families like yourself.
It was an evening of music, food, fun, and fireworks.
Phoenix Police Guard, John Franklin Gifts. Phoenix Police Officer Arthur Delgadio Jr. Last along between.
For kids, riding bikes is a way to get active and have fun. Councilman Nowakowski welcomed in spring with a series of events to teach kids bicycle safety and introduce the city's long-term plans for making our streets safer for bikes.
Well, Downtown Urban Community Kids has been around since 1995, and so the essence of what we do is keep kids in school because we feel like that building that foundation of education is the most important thing that we can do. But then beyond that is also reaching out to the neighborhood. And so our vision statement is transforming neighborhoods through learning, living, and loving one kid at a time.
The events kicked off at local elementary schools and capped off with a movie night at Cesar Chavez Park. It was a day that gave residents a chance to connect, learn more about bike safety, and get involved with their community schools and with each other. When summer rolled around, Councilman Nowakowski visited Cityscape, where a unique water feature gave visitors a chance to beat the heat and catch a wave.
Inspired by what you see out at Mission Beach called the Wave House.
Right.
We saw this concept and thought this would be the perfect kind of anti-ice rink event in the summertime, and brought a little bit of Mission Beach here, and with it came Sean Silvera from Flowrider. Sean's the 4-time world champion. He's here with us all summer to teach all the kids how to do this. Most of our customers that come have never done it before, and we've got kids all the way from 3 years old to adults that are 65 years old that come out and do everything on it.
It was a creative and unique downtown activity that brought out visitors even when temperatures were soaring. It was also another great example of the diverse activities our downtown offers.
You always have to watch your kids around water, no matter if it's 1 second, 2 seconds, or a couple minutes. You always have to watch your kids around water. And the best person to tell us about water safety is Kelly from our Phoenix Fire Department.
Hey, thank you.
Kelly, first of all, I just want to thank you for everything the Phoenix Fire has done, and especially you in training our young people about water safety.
Oh, it's a great pleasure. I mean, being the leading cause of fatalities for children 1 to 5, it needs to be addressed. So, and even not just the children, but teens and adults drowning as well. So anything we can do to prevent that, and that's where the ABCs come in. It's really basic, just adult supervision, barrier, and classes.
Councilman Nowakowski also hosted the dean of the ASU Law School to hear details on the exciting plans to move the school from Tempe to downtown Phoenix. The law school's move will be a major boost to economic development in downtown and further strengthen the city's partnership with ASU. Phoenix also honored another key relationship when the city hosted the Consulate of Mexico at City Hall to celebrate Mexican Independence Day. Councilman Nowakowski was honored at the celebration, which the Mexican government awards to honor significant achievements of Americans of Mexican descent.
This is an exciting time, and we get to congratulate Michael Nowakowski, Councilman Nowakowski in District 7 for the Otley Award. We're honored tonight to be able to congratulate him his wife, his entire family, Ortegas and Nowakowskis.
Thank you for what you've done throughout your entire time on the City Council, sending a message through good times and bad that City of Phoenix, State of Arizona, having a great, close friendship with Sonora, with all of Mexico, is critically important for our future.
Councilman Nowakowski also featured another lesser-known piece of Phoenix's cultural landscape with a visit to the 75th anniversary celebration of the Pulaski Club.
It is such a pleasure to celebrate our 75th anniversary with all of you.
The organization has been at the heart of Phoenix's Polish-American community since World War II. The visit was a way to learn more about the Polish-American community and pay homage to an important cultural influence here in Phoenix.
Well, it was started in May of 1939, just 3 months before Germany invaded Poland. And there was so much war material going on that we decided that the Polish people here that are in Phoenix, and there weren't too many, the entire population was only 54,000 at that time in Phoenix. But we got the Polish people out of the telephone book. We began to call them.
The visit was a way to learn more about the Polish-American community and pay homage to an important cultural influence here in Phoenix. Downtown stayed busy throughout the fall and winter. Heritage and Science Park again was the site of the annual Zombie Walkin' Festival, which has grown in just a few years to include tens of thousands of participants.
The Zombie Walk actually started in 2009 by the Downtown Phoenix Ambassadors. They, one of our ambassadors at the time had seen that there was a walk in another part of the country, goes, we can do that, we can do it right here in downtown. Wow. So they did, and they had 200 people. Fast forward 5 years to last year's Zombie Walk, we had 20,000 people.
It's a day-long Halloween celebration that transforms downtown into a parade of ghouls. And when the Christmas holidays approached, residents and workers again enjoyed beautiful holiday lights along Central Avenue. Councilman Nowakowski teamed up with the Phoenix Community Alliance and dozens of sponsors to renew the cherished community tradition of lighting up Central Avenue and bringing some additional holiday cheer to Phoenix. Finally, Councilman Nowakowski unveiled Lucky 7, a new feature for each episode of Phoenix 2020. Lucky 7 is viewers' picks for their favorite businesses, locations, and activities in District 7. Residents nominate and vote each month, and the councilman features each month's winners on Phoenix 2020. You can check out the most recent month's winners and download a nomination form for Lucky 7 on the District 7 website. That's phoenix.gov/District 7.
We accomplished so much in 2014, but there's still much more to do. It's time to look ahead at our goals for the city and District 7 for 2015. Soon the city will begin the budget process with a possible shortfall in the horizon. I'm working hard to make fiscal responsibility, transparency, and openness the foundation of our budget process. I've been a strong advocate for a zero-based budget. We're using that process again this year so we can closely review every dollar of spending and making sure it matches our priorities. I'm also pushing city staff to watch spending closely to find out ways to save. Every dollar saved today is a dollar available for the vital services next year. My council colleagues and I also have asked the city manager for regular and early updates on the budget, so we're now getting more details earlier than before. These changes show residents were serious about openness, transparency, and fiscal responsibility. I'm also going to continue to advocate for our parks and community centers. District 7 residents love their parks and rec programs, and I will continue to focus on them in 2015.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
As the chair of the Public Safety and Veterans Subcommittee, I know that safety of our neighborhoods must be our top priority. Here to talk about our 2015 public safety goals is my Chief of Staff, Layla Ressler. Layla, welcome to Phoenix 2020.
Thank you.
You know, I know that one of our priorities is that we need to get more police officers out there. So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. As chairman of Public Safety and Veterans, you have been steadfast in your goal to keeping our communities safe. And with that requires adequate staffing of our police and fire. The city has set a goal to hire 300 officers over the next 3 years and starting this March. You are committed to ensuring that we do reach that goal and also finding any efficiencies possible to find additional dollars that can be used to hire even more officers.
You know, the other thing we've been talking about in public safety is this whole drones and how do we create some type of ordinance and making sure that people have privacy, right?
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about the drones ordinance that we're going to be working on this year.
Drones are becoming increasingly popular, and although lots of fun and have lots of capabilities, there's also the opportunity for individuals to use drones for nefarious reasons. And for that, our office has been working with the legal department to draft language that would make it illegal for an individual to use a drone to film, audio tape, or videotape you on your private property.
You know, one of the other things that we've been working on big time is taking that whole Team Phoenix approach on water safety. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the water safety and how we're preventing drownings in the city of Phoenix, and in English and Spanish we're creating programs, right?
Absolutely. Definitely taking the Team Phoenix approach to educate the community that drownings are preventable. So our office, in collaboration with police, fire, neighborhood services, and various outside agencies, have put together a comprehensive water safety program that we'll be releasing just this year to community centers, schools, and the general public.
You know, as not only the chair of Public Safety Subcommittee, but also a co-chair of the Graffiti Task Force for the City of Phoenix. I know that you've been working very hard on that and making sure that everything that the committee is coming up with is done. So tell us a little bit about the Graffiti Task Force.
Absolutely. Well, one of the major goals of the Graffiti Task Force is to reduce the access that individuals or youth would have to the supplies and the tools necessary to do graffiti in our communities. So our office has been working with legal to draft language that would require retailers to not only keep the tools and the supplies behind locked doors, but also require identification of anyone trying to purchase those tools or resources to ensure that they're over 18 years old.
You know, Layla, creating this program, I thought it was really important to have our staff members, especially our chief of staff, that people get to know who you are and that you guys are really behind the scenes doing all the hard work. So it's important that you all get recognized for everything you do. So I really want to thank you, Layla, for everything you do out there and how you empower District 7 and how you take care of our residents.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but it really is all the staff at the City of Phoenix and, of course, the leadership of you and all your colleagues on the council.
With that, we'll be right back. Please stay tuned and watch more of Phoenix 2020.
much good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Welcome back. Our downtown played a big role in attracting the Super Bowl to Arizona. It also is a huge boost to our economy. Our future depends on making Phoenix a great place to live, work, and invest. Here to talk about the efforts in improving the infrastructure and continuing downtown development and growing our economics is Stephanie Mandre.
Thank you for welcoming me. So as you were talking about, the downtown area is growing currently with businesses, housing projects, and educational institutions. The construction of the ASU Center of Law and Society is underway and it will officially open fall of 2016. Central Station will also be redeveloped to a mixed-use, high-rise, transit-oriented development project. The city will be building a dog park and mixed-use fields in Levine as well. In Maryville, also, there will be local businesses opening up.
So, you know, Stephanie, you just graduated from ASU, and what was your major?
My major was tourism development and management, so definitely speaking in the downtown area, I've gotten myself very familiar with it and in regards to businesses as well.
You know, one of the things that we heard a lot about is meters and parking and all that, and one of the things that you helped organize is meetings with the stakeholders and actually all the restaurants, coffee shops, the bars, and all the retail down in downtown Phoenix that really didn't have a chance to have that conversation. And we had, how many meetings was that?
We had 2 specifically.
And then what came out of those meetings about the parking meters and all that?
Well, we were able to discuss with the businesses at that time kind of what their opinion was and what they wanted out of the parking meters and how they could benefit from this. So the city actually purchased and installed credit card meters at various downtown locations to make it more convenient and efficient for users based on data that we had collected as the city and what businesses wanted. The parking meter gathered a lot of attention from our residents downtown and from surrounding areas. The city is actually currently trying to structure parking hours, fees, and location to accommodate all these needs, and that's what those meetings really brought, or the businesses' opinions and needs that would cater to their specific customers.
Well, Stephanie, I just really want to thank you for everything you bring to our office. I mean, not just being young, but all the great ideas and everything you learned at ASU and life. You know, one of the things that sometimes happens at the council office is that we get caught up in our old ways, and you just brought this whole level of technology, social media to our office. So I want to really thank you about that, and thank you for everything you do.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here.
So keep watching Phoenix 2020. We'll be right back.
Nice. No.
Oops. Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Welcome back. We worked hard in 2014 in bringing our neighborhoods together. We'll be back in the community in 2015 to bring people together, celebrating our parks, cultural heritage, and having fun while we do it. With me to talk about some exciting neighborhood events and issues for the coming year is the Administrative Coordinator, Felicita Mendoza, from our office. She's been with me from the very beginning, right, when I first was elected. So Felicita, tell me a little bit about what events we had last year.
Last year we had a lot of movies in the park every month. We had a movie in the park at different locations in District 7. We also identified blighted areas and we cleaned up. We had hundreds of volunteers.
If you want to clean up your neighborhood, or if you belong to an association, that there's resources that the City of Phoenix provides to people. What are some of those resources?
One of the resources is free paint. So if you call our neighborhood services department, you can pick up paint, free paint at one of our locations.
So the paint, the rollers, and everything too, huh?
Yes.
Oh, wow. You know, one of the things that people always talk about is how to get involved in the community. What a best way is by having a paint day and painting out graffiti. You know, the other thing that, what are some of the plans that we have for 2015?
Our plan in District 7 is to increase participation from our block watch groups to participate in the GAIN event this October. Our office will be reaching out to block watches so we can provide them with information on how to participate and get involved.
So what is the GAIN event?
GAIN event, it's Getting Arizona Involved.
It's like a national night that everybody, not only here in Phoenix, but throughout the whole country, gets involved to take back their neighborhood, right?
Yes, that is correct. It is a day to promote safety and celebrate accomplishments of crime prevention through community achievement.
Felicita, since August, we've been getting a lot of calls about the new FAA air path, especially from our downtown and our Levine area. Tell us a little bit about what we're doing as an office.
Well, under your direction and approved by City Council, the city's position has been to go back to the old flight path. And the city's aviation department will be placing noise monitors to compare the noise level from before and after the flight path change. The city is also hosting community outreach meetings to get feedback from the public.
You know, it's all about the quality of life and making sure that the residents in all Phoenix can have that quality of life and that airplanes aren't flying in their backyards when they're having conversations and stuff like that. So I really want to thank you and the whole staff, Layla, Stephanie, and even our interns that we have, Jessica from ASU, that's helping us out right now. So, you know, it's really a team effort. It's a team approach. It's not the council member, but it's really you all that make things happen. Thank you, Felicita, and my entire staff at District 7. Now stay tuned for this month's Lucky 7.
Best activity for the family.
P.F. Chang's Rock and Roll Marathon.
Best food and drink.
Breadfruit Rum Bar.
Best downtown activity.
Verizon Super Bowl Central.
Best arts and culture event.
MLK Youth Art Exhibit.
Best place for a first date.
Cityscape.
Best kept secret.
Bragg's Factory Diner.
Best neighborhood spot.
Harley's Bistro.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Phoenix 2020. We hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, you can contact my office by phone, email me, and you can follow me on Twitter or like me on Facebook. We'll see you next time on Phoenix 2020, a clear vision for the future of Phoenix.